Hi guys, and welcome to this other video. I hope you are doing all well. So today in this video we are going to talk about FortiGate. Let's encrypt SSL certificate on FortiGate firewalls. So in this video we are going to talk about what is SSL. Let's encrypt, how it works, generating certificate with the ACME protocol. We'll see the prerequisite for deploying a Let's Encrypt certificate. We'll see some limitation and constraint. Also talk about concrete use cases, deployment steps. In the practical part, we will show how to generate a Let's Encrypt certificate and apply it on our FortiGate device. So Let's Encrypt. So Let's Encrypt is a non-profit, free, automated, and open source certificate authority that provides free SSL certificates to secure website communication with HTTPS. So Let's Encrypt has been there since 2014. So Let's Encrypt has already generated more than 1 billion SSL certificates, and actually there are more than 200 million active SSL certificate generated by Let's Encrypt. So the benefits of the Let's Encrypt are, as we said, it is a free and open source. So the process of generating SSL or Let's Encrypt certificate is very automated. So from your FortiGate device, you just have some few clicks to do and you have your certificates. Enhanced security. So as we said, is to secure your HTTPS communication. You will secure some services like VPN, DNS, users authentication. So we'll talk about this in the next slides. So we also have for some benefit, we have like domain validation. So with your Let's Encrypt, you have to validate that you own the domain for which you are creating a certificate. And also for support, as it's an open source product and it has been there since 2014. So information about support is very available on the internet. So what are the prerequisites before you can install a Let's Encrypt certificate, or you can generate a Let's Encrypt certificate from your FortiGate device? So your FortiGate needs to run firmware FortiOS version 7.0 or later version. So if you are running a 6 version, you will not be able to generate a Let's Encrypt certificate. You also need to have a public IP address, and you need also to have a publicly resolvable FQDN. So to have a public resolvable FQDN, you either have your own self-owned domain name, or you will be able to enable dynamic DNS directly from your FortiGate device. Also, from your FortiGate device, you need to have at least one interface that is facing the internet. So for that interface is going to serve as the ACME interface. So the ACME is the automated certificate management engine. It is a protocol that is used by Let's Encrypt to generate certificate, maintain the certificate, and renew certificate. So you need to specify this interface during the process. So also you need to allow some necessary ports like 53, 80, and 443 must be open. That's in inbound. And then outbound, you need to make sure 443 is also open. So Let's Encrypt also has some limitation. So limitations include, so if the public facing interface or the internet facing interface that you choose for the ACME protocol, this interface must not have any virtual IP address configured on it, and also there should be no port forwarding configured for this interface. So what you need to also know is that Let's Encrypt certificates are not suitable if you want to do like deep inspection or packet inspection, or also SSL TLS inspection, the decryption. So Let's Encrypt is not suitable for this type of traffic. if you need to do one of this type of traffic, you need to generate or you need to create a third party, buy a third party certificate from like Sectigo, Komodo, Digiset. So another limitation will include, for example, with Let's Encrypt, you cannot generate a wildcard certificate. So any certificate like star.example.com, you will not be able to generate those types of certificates using Let's Encrypt. You generate a certificate that is specific to a fully qualified domain name. Also, validity period for each Let's Encrypt certificate is 90 days. So after each 90 days, you will need to renew the SSL certificate. So other limitations include, as we said, Let's Encrypt works with Acme protocol. So to make sure that your certificate is valid, is maintained, and is renewed at time, you will need to let port 80 and 443 must be always open on your FortiGate device. So this one of limitation that this one of limitation that people don't really like about the Let's Encrypt certificate, because most people don't want this port to be open on their devices. So this is a very important limitation to consider when using Let's Encrypt certificates. So Acme also has some limitation, like with Let's Encrypt, you cannot generate more than 50 certificates per registered domain, and this within 7 days and per account. So this will impact people who have very large company or very large very large company with the need to where they need to generate more certificate for Let's Encrypt. But if you just have some few FortiGate devices for which you want to generate certificates, you will be able to use Let's Encrypt without going through this limitation. Also, validation level. So with Let's Encrypt, you only support domain validation. So as we said, you will be able to create a Let's Encrypt certificate to secure communication for a fully qualified name, like fully qualified domain name such as, let's say, like vpn.example.com or webserver.example.com. So this is called a domain validation. You will not be able to do organization validation certificates. Organization validation certificate is like when you are connected to some website. When you check about the details on the certificates, you will see that they will have some information like this certificate belongs to company name. See, like that's organization name. Like this certificate is owned by this company. So we cannot do those type of validation from Let's Encrypt. If you need to do that, you need to generate those type of certificate, then you need to contact like Sectigo, DigiSite, or any other third party vendor. So as per the previous slides, you might think like, okay, all those limitations makes it feel like like Let's Encrypt is not that much useful. No, Let's Encrypt, you still have like some concrete use cases where you can use Let's Encrypt, like as it is mentioned. You will be able to use Let's Encrypt to secure HTTPS administrative access to your FortiGate. It is even recommended by FortiGate that you can use the Let's Encrypt certificate. So you can generate Let's Encrypt certificate to protect your HTTPS communication. With the Let's Encrypt certificate, you can also secure SSL and VPN communication. So VPN communication on your users connecting to your network through VPN. You can use Let's Encrypt certificate to secure those communication. Also use it for securing users authentication. So you secure users who are directly connecting on your FortiGate, or users who are connecting to your network going through your FortiGate device. You also use Let's Encrypt certificate to secure Wi-Fi connectivity. So if you're using like Forti access point, you will be able to use Let's Encrypt for securing those type of communication. Same with the DNS traffic. So what are the deployment steps? So if you want to generate a Let's Encrypt certificate from your FortiGate device, so step one, you need to verify that your FortiGate has a proper communication with FortiGate servers. Yeah. If you don't use FortiGate servers, if you use FortiGate servers, you also be able to enable like dynamic DNS. So dynamic DNS is this. It will let you make sure that your FortiGate device has a name that can be used even if IP address behind your FortiGate changes all the time. So the dynamic DNS will make sure that you have like a concrete name that will let your FortiGate device be publicly known on the internet. So you also need to enable dynamic DNS. You also need to check if port 80 and 443 are used by another services. You also check to see if there is any port forwarding on the ACME interface. Check also to see if there is any virtual IP address that is configured for on port 80 and 443, especially for the ACME interface. So you also need at some point to set up a desired ACME interface, like from which interface on your FortiGate will you like the ACME protocol to communicate. So the next step will then be to proceed with the certificate creation. So let's jump directly on the FortiGate, our FortiGate device to check this. So here we are on our FortiGate device. So from here we can see that for administrative access, under settings, administrative access, we are actually using HTTPS on port 8443, and we only are using the FortiGate GUI server certificate, which is a built-in FortiGate certificate. And from here, you see that for optimal security, please generate a trusted certificate using Let's Encrypt trusted certificate. So what we are going to do, we are going to check for the prerequisite as we said. I will go under network DNS. So from here, I need to check communication with FortiGate. So here I'm using for DNS settings, I'm using the FortiGate servers. So I can see that from here I have a connectivity for on one of the on the DNS servers. So I'm good with this. So from here, what I will need to do is I will go here, then enable FortiGate DDNS. So why am I enabling FortiGate DDNS? It is because I don't have a self-signed domain name. So this my FortiGate device does not have a self-signed domain name. So rather than using a self-signed domain name, I'm actually going to enable FortiGate DDNS. So I'll click here. So what interface am I going to use for the FortiGate DDNS? So I'll be using my one interface. So you need to know that with FortiGate FortiGate DDNS, you have like three different servers that are available. So you choose from one of these servers. So I will take the first one, FortiDDNS. So you also need to specify a unique location. Like most of the time you might provide like some name. So I'll do it simple. I'll simply put my name here. Okay. So this domain, so when you put the unique location, it will generate a domain for you. So this domain is going to be used to identify this FortiGate device on the internet. Actually, I'm behind this IP address, but as we said in the slides, enabling DDNS will make sure that if this IP address changes, this same name will be used to link or bind to the new IP address. So from here, all is good. But as I said, for the unique location, you need to precise some information. You need to put some information that makes some sense for you on your infra. So here, I'll just keep it like this. Then I hit apply. Okay, all is good. Now I need to double check. I'll go like under policy, virtual IPs. So I need to make sure there is no virtual IP actually configured on port 80 and 443 for the ACME interface, so I have no IP virtual IP address. I'll also check if there is any other service that is using port 80 or 443. So here under SSL VPN, most of the time you also need to change this information here, because by default your SSL VPN will be listening on port 443. So I need to change this port number here, so I'll put like 10443. Okay, so from here I'll apply. So here under SSL VPN, I'm now using 10443. So next, what I need to do is to go under settings. Then from here, as we said, we only have this certificate. From here, I'll need to set up my ACME interface. So from here, as I said, the ACME interface is the interface that will be used on the internet to let your Let's Encrypt generate certificates. So I'll click apply. So I think all is good for now. What we need to do now is to generate the new certificate. So either we are going through this menu from here, create certificate, or we will go under settings, then here under certificates. For example, here we can select here and say certificates. So here what we need to do is to generate a certificate using Let's Encrypt. So I hit Let's Encrypt. So from here you notice that automatically the FortiGate DDNS domain that was given to my FortiGate, it automatically completed here. So it's auto-filled. It is auto-filled here. So if you don't have a concrete DNS or domain name like me, you just use the FortiDDNS. So all is good here. All I need to do is to provide a name for my certificate. I'll simply call it like this. Let's encrypt set. Then here I'll need to provide a valid email. So the email you provide here is where FortiGate, not FortiGate, Let's Encrypt will send you notification if there is any issue with your certificate or if you need to renew your certificate. So it is on this email address, the email that will send you the notification. Okay, all is good. So from here, all I need to do now is to hit create. So before I hit create, you say here this certificate will be automatically provisioned using the ACME protocol with the Let's Encrypt service. So it is easier. It's the easiest way to install a trusted certificate on your FortiGate. Okay, so I hit create. So it is actually creating the certificate. So we'll wait a few seconds and all will be good. Okay, so from here now you see that the certificate is being created. Also from here you can either download the certificate, you can view details on the certificate, or you just hit OK here. So you go now under certificates. Then from here you have the information about our new certificate. So here is our new certificate. So you can just double click on it. So you see details about the certificate. You see like the validity period. So like from today to this other date. So this is a 90-day certificate. You also have the common name. So this is the common name for my FortiGate Let's Encrypt certificate. So from here, all is good. What I need to do now is to assign the certificate to services. So first, before assigning it here under system, then HTTPS. So from here, you see now from here, I have the new certificate. So I can select now Let's Encrypt certificate. Let's Encrypt certificate. You see now the warning about the warning that we had here for untrusted certificate. We don't have it anymore when Let's Encrypt is selected. Now I'll hit apply. You can also assign this certificate, as we said earlier, on some other for some other services. Like for example, I will start here with user and authentication. So from here, I go under authentication settings. So from here, for this certificate, I can also select like the Let's Encrypt certificate. So this will be the certificate that will be used for all authentication for users that are actually directly connecting to my FortiGate or who are connecting to my network using, for example, some LDAP services, reduced services. If for example, you enable LDAP so that your Active Directory users can connect to your network going through the FortiGate. So from here, you can hit apply. Also for VPN settings. So if I go under SSL VPN settings, so also from here I can change this default certificate to my my recently created certificate, Let's Encrypt. So I can hit apply. Also under network DNS. So also at this point, I can also use my Let's Encrypt certificate to secure DNS connections to my FortiGate. So I can also from here select Let's Encrypt, then hit apply. So we also said we were not, it was not possible to use Let's Encrypt certificate for some SSL traffic such as packet inspection or deep inspection. So under security profile, if I go under SSL and SSH inspection, so if I try to edit like the custom deep inspection profile, so from here we'll see that under the certificate here, I'm not able to use the Let's Encrypt certificate because Let's Encrypt certificate is not suitable to provide some security regarding SSL SSH inspection. So if I need to secure this type of communication, I'll need to buy a certificate from a third party company like Sectigo, DigiCert, or Komodo, or something else.